So, where have I been? Uh, this is, of course, horrible that I've been gone for so long. But I do have a good reason. I do. And it is very simply put, I simply just have not had the drive to record. I've sat down, I've recorded a few videos, and I would rewatch them to kind of view them how I wanted them to look, and it just never turned out well. It just never did. I know I'm kind of getting into a little bit, but I'm just saying that it is. I don't want to produce content that I personally don't think is up to par. If the content that I produce is bad in my eyes, then I'm not going to post it. I've recorded 3 or 4 videos at this point now that I just have backed up because I rewatch them and I go, okay, I could have done that better. I could have put that in easier. I could have worded that better, etc., etc. And it's not those like 1 or 2 things. No, it's several different things with that video of me saying, okay, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And so I'm not going to produce content that I think is going to have a lot of problems in it. So I want my content to be very well done. So again, I do very much want to apologize for me just disappearing for pretty much a month. That's the main reason why I haven't been recording. There have been a few other reasons, mainly that I've kind of put all my time and effort right now into looking for a job outside of this, because if those that don't know, this actually costs me money to record, to edit my videos. I don't have a free video editor at all. I have to pay to use the video editor that I use. So for me to get the transitions and to get all the not backgrounds, the the intro, the outro, all that kind of stuff, I don't get to do that for free. It costs me money. So that being said, I have to have a job to make money. And I'm working on that right now. I'm working on getting one, and I haven't been able to find one that's fit and solid to work around a good schedule for this. That I can work and record, because I want to get my videos up. I want to be able to record. I'm comfortable now being able to record maybe 2 to 3 times a week, hopefully. And so, final thing, I want to say that I'm extremely, extremely sorry for not being able to record and not being here for my outcasts that are on my channel. But that being said, guys, let's get into today's video. I'm sorry to bare my soul a little bit there. I was looking over the Dragon Ball community, and I was like, what is some good... Look at all the races. I was like, okay, well, you've got your Frieza race, or the Arikoshans, you got your Saiyans, you got your Namekians, you got your humans, your angels, etc., etc. And I'm like, what are some races that like are powerful but are like really underrated? So that's what I wanted to do today. Some races that aren't really shown in the series all that often have some pretty wicked abilities that, whether it be traits coming from them or some abilities they have that aren't really talked about a whole lot, but are extremely potent. And so here is after a lot of searching, deliberating, I wanted to go only with canon races. I did consider using non-canon races like from GT and Heroes and video games and etc., etc., etc. I thought about that, and I said, you get to the point where there are so many that are like so incredibly broken, and I'm going to include an honorable mention on here in this video. That'll be at the end of the video if you want to know that one. And it is like, this one is so ridiculously powerful that it's like, it is like a godsend. And no, I'm not talking about Zeno either. Not like Zeno's race, no. But we're almost 5 minutes in here. Let's get right into the video at number 5. I have them written down right here on my side. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking down for, just to get their names. And I have them bolted down what the important parts about them are. Okay? So we have number 5, the Metal Man race. This is the name's blanking on me. Magetta. This is like your Magetta, and I know there's a Universe 7 character that is a part of this race, but I can't remember the name right now. They only have one thing going for them, and that is that they are extremely, extremely durable. And I mean like durable to the point that it was ridiculous. Now, I get it. Magetta is supposed to be seen as like this, like Magetta is one of a kind. He is one of the greatest warriors of his universe, and that's fine. But let's go over some of the stuff that Magetta was able to do. I'm talking about their main thing being that they are extremely durable to the point that it is nigh impossible to damage them unless you are significantly stronger than them. Let's look at Magetta. Base Vegeta was unable to affect him in any way. He used a bunch of different attacks. I'm talking about Base Vegeta here, not like Super Saiyan Blue, Base Vegeta. He used Big Bang Attack. He used Gauntlet Gun, Final Flash. Nothing. Barely even scratched Magetta in the slightest. Didn't even move him or anything. So Magetta has durability that is like off the charts level of insane. Okay? Vegeta had to go Super Saiyan just to like affect him. Now I know a lot of you are thinking, well, what about the weaknesses the Metal Men have? They don't have a whole lot of mental power. It's like, oh yeah, you insult them and they don't want to fight anymore. Or the fact that they can't really fly. The whole fly thing, that's not really a thing, just more that Magetta couldn't fly. Because I believe, I could be wrong, correct me on this if I'm wrong, I do believe the Universe 7 Metal Man could fly. He could fly just fine. But but again, their one thing is they're super durable. Not to mention they also produce a crap ton of heat and steam that comes off of them, and it is to the point that it is ridiculous. Vegeta almost lost to the environment because Magetta were able to produce heat and smoke to almost kill him. Okay. So that's number 5. They are pretty powerful. They have some weaknesses to them. Again, they're number 5. So a race that despite being significantly weaker than the opponent they were fighting, could handle their attacks almost like it was nothing. Now going on to 4. 4 is a very unknown race. To my knowledge, there's only one version of this character in all of Dragon Ball that I've seen, and that is, I have it pulled up here. I can't quite pronounce it, so my pronunciation is going to be horrible. Okay, it is the Enkoku Senjins. This is Yakon from the Majin Buu saga. I know a lot of you are like, what? Who the fuck is Yakon? Yakon was one of Bibbidi Bobbidi, whatever, their minions. And he had a pretty unique ability, the fact that he could actually consume light. He was able to eat light, and well, this would have a downside too. If he ate too much of it, he would explode. But my point is the fact that the ability to just straight up eat light. That didn't seem that powerful. You have to remember, what are almost all fighters in Dragon Ball using to fight with? Ki blasts, ki attacks, light. So Yakon's race could theoretically just be like, like someone's firing out the Kamehameha or the Gauntlet Gun or the Big Bang Attack or the Special Beam Cannon, and they're just like, oh, delicious. Thanks for the attack, bro. Love it. Tasty. Okay. Along with a few other things they have going on for them, it is that they are a magical creature. They're magical, which doesn't seem like what does that mean? Whatever. Well, I mean, let's look at Moro. Let's take a good look at Moro for a second there. Magic is very underutilized in Dragon Ball. You can probably count the amount of people that use magic on 1 or 2 hands. Off the top of my head, I can think of Moro, Bibbidi Bobbidi, Baba, and that's pretty much it that I can say that use magic to an effective degree. Okay, so let's go over what those people are. So you have Moro, who almost beat the main cast, Bibbidi and Bobbidi, who were able to control Majin Buu, And then Fortress of Baba, who can resurrect the dead for a little bit of time. But whatever. So they're magical. That doesn't really do much for them, but I would still view it as a kind of bonus to them. Is I've no anything I've ever seen really shows them being innately magical, except for these guys. And they have natural weapons. Claws, they have the clawed talons on their feet. And they also have the prehensile bone blades that come out of their arms, which, again, don't seem all that important or all that powerful, but it is the fact that these guys can stab you with their hands, like, like the whole, like, hand blades. And yes, I know there are plenty of things shown where, like, people just run their hand, like, they stick their full hand through someone, okay? So what? Okay, so is that cool? If a guy can run their hand through somebody, what does the bone blade mean? Well, it's easier. Which one's easier to do? Run your blunt fingers through a person's body, or run a sharp ass like sword blade, like that's off your arm into someone's body, and extra reach, of course, extra reach. Again, going on to number 3, another one from Universe 6, Botamo's race. They have 2 main things going for them. Well, technically 3, I guess. Technically, if you want to really include that third one. But the main thing is that they're slippery, so most attacks actually slip off of them, and it's nothing but they can also be like take hits and like basically just like negate physical damage. They're elastic, like Luffy, and they're also slippery. So like with Goku, when Goku was punching not Bergamo, Botamo, his attacks weren't doing anything. Like they were punching him, and he was like, whatever, just eating him up, just whatever, no big deal. Now, Botamo was really, really arrogant, so whatever, kind of a downside on his end. But my point being that the fact that someone as strong as Goku punching this guy full force, and he's just like, whatever, no big deal, doesn't matter. And the fact that he's able to bounce his body around and project where he's going to go. So that kind of goes into the third thing. They're very large. Botamo is very large. I believe he was double to triple Goku's height and size. So it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but still, oh my. So a giant character. We've seen a lot of giant people in this show get the crap kicked out of them. Yes. But the point is, when you're slamming into someone, with force, the bigger you are, the more damage you're going to do. The bigger you are, the faster you're going. And Botamo seems to be able to go very quickly. Oh, and to cover that point, yes, I know people like the Metal Man, the Kagosenjus, the Botamo race, and one more of these, the number 2. There's only 1 to 2 members of this race. So it could be a thing that these specific members of the race are really powerful, but not all of them are like this. The problem with that whole concept is a lot of races. Like for example, like the Heaters, the Sorelians, even some of the more canon ones like the Namekians and Frieza's race. Like, for example, like the Namekians and Frieza's race. Namekians have a few handful, if you want to count as powerful warriors, Nail, Piccolo / Kami / Dynamis Namekian, etc., etc. The Fusion Namekian, the 2 Namekians from Universe 6. My point being, like a handful, not everyone. And then Frieza, you have, in canon, 3, to my knowledge. Frieza, Cold, and Frost. So yeah, I'm going to consider like 1 or 2 enough to be considered for this race unless it's proven otherwise. Sorry about that. I'm a little thirsty. My drink's all over there, and then I'm not going to get it. So we're going to power through. Moving on to number 2. A sort of very known race. Ginyu's race. They have 1 ability, but it's very powerful, and that's the body swap. Now, a lot of people might say, well, that's only Ginyu. There's actually someone, I don't believe she's canon, but she is a member of Ginyu's race that does happen to have this ability as well. So I'm going to take it as the body swap ability is a racial ability of Ginyu's race. Okay. So moving on. Botamo ability is very powerful. I'm going to talk about the main one here, the big one that I think is the more that makes it so powerful. Ginyu was a frog, like power level of less than one probably. A frog was able to body swap with a fairly powerful, Frieza Force soldier. So I don't believe there's a limit to what he can, transform into, body swap into. So theoretically, if it could be done, Ginyu could look at current Goku and be like, change now. And boom, now he's got a Super Saiyan Blue Ultra Instinct Man body. Okay. So technically speaking there. Now, that's just my point. That's it. That's it. That's all I can say about the Ginyu base. Also Ginyu is pretty powerful, and so is what I believe is a non-canon version of the non-canon person is. She's pretty powerful too. But my point is that it is the fact that the body swap ability is broken. Just all it takes is a simple, put your hands up, change now, and now you've got a way more powerful body if it lands. Now, the weakness of it, of course, is that if something gets in the way of it or if they dodge it, you get the point. But still, very powerful. That brings us to number one. Number one, I think, is fairly obvious. And for those that are looking into more advanced, more expanded races, and that is the Radians. And it is not because of their raw power. No, my dear outcast. Why would that be a thing? It is for the blatant hacks they have. The Radians have hacked powers. Okay? First off, let's talk about the one thing they have that lets them do technically 4 things, technically 5. Okay? And that is spirit fission or spirit fusion, fission, spiritual control. This ability, allows them to, let's see here, to heal themselves and others, pretty much, not instantly, but very effectively. If I remember, Vegeta used this technique, I remember, to heal Goku from almost near death. Okay, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, though. Two, the main thing that I think a lot of people know this for, instant transmission. Lock on to a key signature or a power signature, and then just blip to wherever the hell it is, as long as you can sense it. Able to travel across the universe, possibly the multiverse. I would not be surprised if Goku could teleport, or the audience could teleport into the other world and stuff. Maybe that's why we don't see any dead Radians, because they're just nah, and just teleport out. Whatever. My point though, the Radians, they have that ability. 3, they can clone themselves. I believe in the manga it was shown 10 to 20 times over. He could and those clones, they're not the Ten Shinhan clones where they're it splits their power. No, these are Naruto fucking clones where they have equal power across the board. These are adult Naruto clones where they're basically the exact doppelganger of him. Same power and everything. So imagine you're fighting a Radian, right? You're fighting one, and suddenly he just Kageboshin no Jutsu 20 more of him and then just jump you. Okay? And then, of course, the 4th one, which is probably the weakest one of them all, is the giant form, making themselves huge, which is, again, we've seen plenty of big people, Piccolo, Ozaru's, Big Boy Moro, technically Zamasu, Aniraza, whatever, all those people. Get the crap kicked out of them because they're fighting smaller opponents. Whatever. Still, able to make yourself giant and then clone yourself 20 times is still pretty useful. And of course, they have the fifth one, which is, in my opinion, the most broken ability of all of them, Spirit Vision. To just look at a fusion, also ignore that light up there, to look at a fusion or an absorption or whatever, and just be like, no. Just split motherfuckers like they're the Red Sea. Just screw them, get out of there. Pull a like, here's Johnny moment on somebody, okay? Like, bruh, just like imagine, you know, the Metamorph fusion, or I don't think it might not work with the Patars, but the Patar fusion, you know? You fuse with your homies to fight your dread, and they're like, I'm gonna say a whole no. Not to mention the whole spirit control techniques also make you just make you physically more powerful, as we saw with Vegeta. Vegeta was like he couldn't control how powerful he was when he used spirit control and fired a beam out of his finger and it made a giant blast. Like, bro, that's broken. Just give your Dradian some fucking whey protein and just let him jack up and then use that ability. Oh my god, it's fucking one of the strongest people in the universe right there. Okay, so now we're going on to the honorable mention. This is non-canon. This one is the non-canon. The Dragons number 1. This is an honorable mention here that is by far the strongest race in Dragon Ball. And yes, I am including the Saiyans. Oh yeah. Okay, and that is, let me just scroll up here. That is the Toki Toki race, or the Time Bird race. What Toki Toki is from the Universe series, okay? Now let's go over some of their abilities, okay? They can fly without, this is the weakest ability they have. They can fly without the need of ki, because they have wings, they're birds. Okay. Next, just pretty weak, but fine or whatever. They have teleportation. They can teleport themselves and others. Others to more or less whenever they want. They can speak a language that only certain people can understand. They have claws to scratch people, so natural weapons. Now, going on to their big 3 abilities that make them incredibly, hear that voice crack? Incredibly broken. Okay? Number 1, the creation of timelines. Their eggs and them can just create time. They can create time, fast forward time, reverse time, blah blah blah. Okay, just broken. Okay, broken right there. Okay, that doesn't seem that powerful, but remember, these creatures, they make time for whole universes. That puts them on universal level at the base. Okay. Now they get into the 2 most broken abilities. 1, their wings of nullification. Okay, they are able to produce golden light from flapping their wings that can do just a pretty easy thing. Just negate destruction energy. Yeah, like just straight up negate the gods of destruction energies. Just straight up, like, can just negate Hakai. Just nope, get out of here. Screw you. Screw your purple energy. Get out of here. Number 1, the strongest ability that comes from these guys, the transformation, the God Bird transformation, which was when Toki Toki transformed into it for an instant, able to weaken and nullify all the gods of destruction present, which I believe was all of them, so I believe that would be 12. 12 gods of destruction at the same time, and prevent them from using Hakai and destruction energy. Now, take mind. When it transformed, he or she was able to negate all of them in the mere instant it transformed, and also create more timelines and time for a universe that Mecha was able to absorb and get rid of. Literally, the Toki Toki race could annihilate any other race on this list. Any of them immediately, okay? If the Golden Wings can nullify Destruction Energy, could nullify any technique these other people have on this list. Anything. Just negated. They negate all your attacks, reverse time to murder you, or just, if they just want to mess with you, negate all your abilities and then just teleport around you and scratch you with their claws until they kill you. Okay? So yeah, that's my list, guys. So going back from the top, we have number 5, Metal Man. Number 4, the Koku Senjus. Number 3, Botamo's race. Number 2, Ginyu's race. Number 1, the Radians. Honorable mention, the Toki Tokis. Alright, guys. Alright. My fellow outcasts, it has been a pleasure to meet you all again, and I want to let you know that I am back in the business. That being said, I love you all, and have a nice day, and I will see you later, my fellow outcasts.